Hi, my name is Chris Lambrecht. I'm one of the product specialists for AVID Live Sound, and we're here today at Pro Light & Sound in Frankfurt introducing the Venue S6L. We're very excited about this product. It's our new large format console for live sound, which we're introducing today. Let's start with the control surface. We will have two control surfaces. We're here at the 32 fader control surface. There's a 24 version as well. On the 32, we have 4 banks of 8 faders, 3 banks of 32 knobs, a dedicated center section, and all modules have their own dedicated touchscreen as well. So straight into the workflow, because that's what it's all about. The ease of use, walking up to this desk and straight in without any introduction starting to use it. So the principle, what we've put into the workflow and the touchscreens is that if you can see it, you can touch it, and once you touch it, you can control it. Yeah? I have 8 channels here on my faders. I can look at my metering view with all my channel components, my processing components. I can see an EQ there, I can touch that EQ and it pops up straight on the knobs and I can control that EQ. Yeah? Same for the dynamics. If I can see the dynamics, I can touch the dynamics. I have all my compressor and all my gate controls just right there. Yeah? Input section, same thing. Plugins, bus counts. By the way, for the bus counts, we have 3 pages of aux sends. Yeah? 1 to 32. I can go to 33 to 64. And on our biggest model of the engine, I have a 3rd page which will give me 65 to 96 auxes. Yeah? All those auxes controlled through 2 monitor buses, so we have 2 stereo monitor buses as well, and each of these touchscreens or buckets of 8 works independent from each other as well. So I can be controlling an EQ here, I can go to my dynamics over here, and I can actually be controlling aux sends or inputs over there. Yeah? So that is its most simple form in metering view. I can take that a step further, touch one of these meters, and that will give me an expanded view of the channel. This is the channel view, exploded EQ view, input section, buses and dynamics plugins, and the channel tiles show me the mode I'm in. I'm in EQ mode right now. If I want to go to a different channel, I can just press that channel and go to a different EQ. Again, principle of touching is controlling. Touch the compressor, control the compressor. Touch the input section, control the input section. Yeah? Same thing applies here. Independent controls on each of these buckets. Yeah? Control an EQ, compressor over here, control an EQ over there, go to buses over there. Yeah? Moving to the center section, we have a universe view. Yeah? The universe view will expand a little bit on the capacity of the engine, but I can already tell you that our biggest engine will have 192 input channels. So how do you access those 192 input channels on a 32 fader? You can just access them by scrolling through them. I can attention them. I have 2 flex channels over here. Even if that channel is not on my fader bank, I can still go in there. There's my lead vocal. I can have my lead vocal there at all times and lock it out over there. Yeah? Other things I can do there is mute status. And actually go in and mute things. Solo status as well. Solo things. Spill, multi-assign, layout assign. Currently it is in a fixed mode where we have banks of inputs, 24 inputs, and then the center section is dedicated to outputs. So I can bank inputs or outputs. I can actually also build layouts. For example, here's a layout where I have VCAs and aux masters, so it's completely flexible. I can put any channel anywhere on the fader. If it goes on a fader, I can put it anywhere on these 32 faders. Yeah? Right. A few nice things that we can do. huge channel counts. It's all about accessibility. It's all about ease of use. I can sort these channels on a track number based. I can go alphabetically. I can create filters by color, favorites, and all that sort of stuff, which will make it very convenient to bring things on the faders and move things around whichever way I like. Yeah. So that's the control surface. Of course, with that goes an engine. We have the front view of the engine over there. Here's an engine front view over here. But what really matters is the back view of the engine. Yeah. 2 power inlets, 3 power supplies. Everything is fitted with thumb screws for ease of access. I can loosen one of these power supplies. They're hot swappable. Pull them straight out. 3 power supplies. 1 power supply is needed for operation. Any 2 power supplies will give me full redundancy on the power of the system. Yeah. Thumb screws here on this section allow me to open up the engine. It can be rack mounted, and I can just pull this out. And if you look inside, you will see a fanless cooler. All these components are fanless. They're completely silent. We can go into theater environment, very critical noise environments. It will be completely silent. Over here we have the DSP card. It's currently fitted with 1 HDX card. We can have up to 4 HDX cards in there for literally hundreds of plugins that we can do on this system. And then option slots. Yeah. Close it back up. So network connections. The core protocol that we use is AVID, audio video bridging. And that goes on here on these network cards. Network connections can be either through Cat5, Ethercon, or we can fit fiber modules in there for longer distances, can be multi-mode or single-mode fiber connections. Option slots will include cards for Dante connectivity, MADI connectivity, Thunderbolt connectivity for very high channel counts, for recording and playback systems in our virtual soundcheck environment. Yeah. So that's the back of the engine. So how about numbers? We will go to market with 2 versions, the S6L or the E6L 144 and the E6L 192. The numbers that you see on there is what you get. We do not compromise in those numbers when, for example, going to higher sample frequencies. Standard operation is 96K. We can work at 48K. We do not play a game where at some point you get reduced channel counts because you're using a certain bus configuration. 192 input channels for the big one, 96 mix buses plus left mono right, 2 stereo solo buses. We heavily expanded on matrix capabilities, giving you a 24 by 24, 32 VCAs, 200 plugins, GEQs. By the way, on the output side, every output has dedicated processing as well, standard compressor limiter, and a 7-band parametric EQ on all outputs. AVB is our standard protocol, and Thunderbolt will give you high channel counts for recording and playback. Yeah. Moving to the third, actually a little bit more detail about the processing on this system. The HDX cards, which are in there, are solely responsible for running plugins. They're only responsible for running plugins. The mixer environments runs directly on the core. It's an RTX technology that we apply in these systems, and RTX technology allows us to speak directly on a kernel level to the core CPU. So it gives us very high reliability, low latency, and an immense capacity of processing channels that we can put into these engines. Yeah. And then the third system component is our I/O box, the Stage 64. Stage 64, 64 inputs, 32 outputs, standard configuration. Direct MADI split through 2 MADI connectors MADI split is straight after the mic pre, ADC conversion, and then straight goes to MADI. So any input, we have 64 MADI out at 48K. We actually can mirror those MADIs at 96K. They split up 1 to 32, 33 to 64. And then one very nice detail is this headphone confidence monitor. What you see on the top, and I can actually show you here in the bottom, if we go down, this little dial allows me to dial in any channel. So I can be sitting at front of house, I can have a little buzz, for example, on my bass DI. I don't even need to know the track number of that bass DI. I can go in and just go, let's dial in track number or channel number 36, but I can also call out for, can you go to the bass DI? We can see the track names on here, dial it in, select it, and then listen straight to top of channel mic pre. Yeah. Of course, the connections are there as well for my network. Ethercons for Cat5 and fiber modules for single or multi-mode fiber. Yeah. And then last but definitely not least is that all of this is built around our Venue software. Venue software is exactly the same software environment that we use, that we have been using since day one on our Venue line. It allows us a minimal learning curve. It is what people know. We've of course reskinned it a little bit to make it look more like a 2015 system. But the most important thing here is that I can take these files and move them back and forth between any of our Venue products. I can take one of these show files, go to an SC48, load it straight up. I can take an S3L show file, come over here and load it straight up. And that's a very short, very condensed overview of our new Venue S6L system. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.